My stepmother is so beyond racist, she doesn't like my wife because of her ethnicity. And guys, when I get into everything that she said to my wife, you're probably gonna blame me for not cutting her off sooner. But I'm trying to tell everyone listening, it's so much deeper than that. She's my mom. She's been there for me through everything. Let me just start from the beginning. Hey guys, my name's Travis. My wife, Imani, and I just had our first kid together. And this has caused my relationship with my stepmom Nina to completely deteriorate for some reason. Well, my mom died due to some complications after I was born. I just had a week with her and that's it. I grew up without a mom and didn't really know how important a mother loves was, until I was a preteen. My father, Garrett, was a great father when I was growing up. He was always involved in supporting me with everything. You know, I never really felt like I was missing a mom in my life. Of course, I have a special place for my biological mother in my heart through listening to the rest of the family tell me stories. But when I was a preteen, my father introduced me to this woman he was seeing, Nina. Nina was an angelic figure that glided into my life easily. Nina and my father had been dating for about a year. By then, we were quite serious about each other, I'd say. And I started seeing Nina as a mother figure because that's how she treated me. She was protective, even before she married my father. When she did get married to my dad, we were quite literally like mother and son. She would attend my school plays alongside my dad, and I would help her around the house with errands. I knew she had anxiety driving, so I learned to drive as soon as I could. And she knew all the food I liked and did not like. There were so many such small amounts, these moments, that made me realize how big of a hole my mother had left in my life that I had not even known until now. You know, having this new person be in my corner to always love me and support me was a game changer, if I'm being honest. We had this amazing relationship for quite a long time, and we would constantly catch up on the phone when I went away to college, and also when I would return for the holidays. Guys, she would spoil me so much that even my father would start complaining. Everything was just absolutely great. Until my last year of college. I know this specifically because that was the year I introduced my girlfriend to her and my father. Imani. She's 26, and you see, Imani is a black lady. She stole my heart in college with her intellect. I've always been having a weakness in my heart for smart people, and she was the smartest out of everyone I've ever met. I did indeed have the tiniest crush on her ever since I saw her in class. Being her intelligent self, I had not done anything about it for 3 years until I found out that Imani was also into me. Her also being into me had come as a shock, but I was not going to let that change. Let this get out of my hands? No, this is my chance. I asked her out the next time I saw her. Guys, I absolutely fell in love with Imani almost immediately. It was impossible not to. She's very ambitious, who get what she wants on the basis of hard work. She's currently working at a consulting firm, but she and her best friend plan to open up their own firm in the near future. But unfortunately, my family did not fall in love with Imani immediately like I had. Nina had actually been quite rude to her when they were first introduced. She didn't involve Imani in any conversation on her own. She spoke over Imani many times, and she did not show any interest in Imani at all throughout the entire meal. It was that bad. Even when Imani tried to show her interest in Nina, she gave curt one-word answers to her questions. It was actually a very uncomfortable dinner. All I could think of was that Nina did not like my new girlfriend because she was black. And Nina had had a bad past with black people. From what I know, Nina was married to a black man, but she was never accepted by his family and was always made to feel like an outsider. All the while, her husband did nothing about it. This was actually the reason for their divorce, but I still didn't think that it excused her behavior towards Imani. I mean, come on. In the upcoming months, she continued her behavior. Even when we had moved in together, Nina and my father had come to help us move into our new apartment. And Nina had continued being rude towards Imani. Imani had grown frustrated by this, and I had told her about Nina's past and how it must have affected her. Imani was not really convinced, just like I hadn't been. So I decided to confront my stepmom. When I brought the topic up with her alone, without Imani being present, she burst into tears. She made herself into the victim who was weary of every black person after how her husband's family had treated her over the years. But I thought that was highly ridiculously unfair to Imani, as she had not been the one who treated her as such. Shouldn't she get right to prove herself, to be a better person than Nina's ex-husband and his family? You know, the truth is, Imani is awesome. I know for sure that she would never make Nina feel alienated ever. And I was about to tell her that, but my father had grown mad at me for making his wife cry, and told me to leave them alone, so I had to leave reluctantly. But the confrontation led to nothing, and Nina continued to be rude to Imani. She continued her behavior even when I asked her to marry me a year ago. And then, after we got married a month after that, we tried to move past it though. However, the real drama began when my wife announced her pregnancy. We had decided to have a small dinner gathering at our house and told everybody then. Our families were really happy about the affair. See, Imani's parents had come up to us and given us big hugs and everything. Imani's father especially was very happy with the news. But I noticed that my parents had not congratulated me at all during the party. My father congratulated me at the end of the party, out of earshot of Nina, and Nina never congratulated either Imani or I at all. Not once. That stung me because I had thought that she, well, obviously loved me, and nothing would ever change that, and that moment had really sourced our relationship to sour. If she could not even put aside her bad experience for one dang conversation, just to congratulate us for this new chapter in our life is ridiculous, and I don't want anything to do with her. Why should I put an energy into a relationship when I know the other person just won't do the same? After that, Nina just avoided us for the most part. She did not come to my birthday party claiming that she was sick. She did not attend my son's gender reveal claiming that she needed to go see her sister or our son's baby shower, saying that she was simply working. Yeah. She never once visited us during my wife's pregnancy, even at family events hosted by other people. Guys, she was distant. Never talking to us. She never even once asked my wife how she was doing, or how the baby was. I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't even know if we were having a son or a daughter. Yeah. But you know what? I simply ignored it all, because my priorities have changed. I mean, they have. Straight up. I had a baby on the way and a wife who was in a lot of pain due to her pregnancy. I didn't have time to show my stepmom that Imani was an amazing woman, especially because I've just accepted that Nina did not want to see it. However, crap hit the fan when my son was actually born. My son was of course born mixed race, and he came into the world a month ago. During this time, my stepmom never once visited us, or even asked us about the health of our son. My father has come around once and mostly given us privacy because we asked him to, but he was genuinely happy to see the kid. See, he claimed that Nina was sick and did not want to pass off whatever she had to the baby. I thought that was utter crap and a lie. Well, yesterday, I sent a picture of my son to her because it didn't seem like she cared, and asked her if she would like to come see the baby. She did not even congratulate me. She did not even say a word to me or anything. Just gave a bullcrap excuse, being busy these days, and she said that she simply won't be able to make it. In anger, I had gone over to her house. I screamed at her for treating my wife this way, and now she's doing the same with my baby boy, who is so young. How can he possibly make her feel unwanted? Come on. Well, turns out she was even madder than me. She claimed that it was clear that I did not have any time for her now that my wife had given me a baby. I told her not to flip this on me. I always invited her everywhere, guys. She claimed that I might invite her, but it's clear that she's not welcoming into our home. Apparently, the sheer existence of my wife in my house makes her feel unwelcome. Are you kidding me? But by the time I could call her out on her crap, she'd begun to cry, like straight up cry like a little baby. These big fat tears, which now I can see are very fake, And she just uses them to gain sympathy because my father told me to leave them alone. He told me that if I can't be respectful of Nina's trauma from her last marriage, then I should stop contacting them at all. I was really shocked at the turn of events that just played out. For the first time, I can see that my stepmom is blindly leading her past. There's no hope for us to live in absolute harmony with each other. She's stuck in her ways. And I miss that we used to have something together. Most importantly, my father is blinded every time she sheds her little tears. She's causing distance between me and my dad. With her past trauma, or whatever she calls it. I don't want to sound insensitive, but everybody's different and you can't judge the whole community on the basis of one experience that you had. I would be so mad if I lost my father because of her prejudice against black people. I know that I'm not the one in the wrong, and my anger is fear. I mean, come on, I think this is straight up fair. But I feel like maybe there's a better way to handle this. Maybe I'm being insensitive towards her, but being sensitive to her has only resulted in my wife having to take her rudeness. And she had done nothing wrong. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to lose my father because of her behavior, though I think it's too late for my stepmom now. So guys, I could really use some advice. What would you do if you found yourself fixed in my situation? Update number 1. Hey guys, well, it's Travis and I'm back. So I did get a chance to read through some of your comments and some things actually caught my eye. I agree that if her past trauma is what causes her to be weary of my wife, she can't be weary of a newborn. How can a newborn hurt her? Come on, or make her feel unwelcome, so I decided to introduce my child to her. That's right, don't worry, I asked Imani if she would like to take our son to his grandma's. I didn't want to go myself. I was scared that she would be mad to see me, especially after our little fight the last time we saw each other. And I also wanted the olive branch to come from Imani. It would be seen as highly welcoming from Imani's side if she was the one who personally showed our son to Nina. Or at least that's what I thought. But when Imani came home in a rage, I realized that maybe I've made a huge mistake. She tells me that Nina had been incredibly rude to her in the handful of minutes that they interacted. She claimed that Nina did not even glance at the baby once and did not show any interest in wanting to connect with her grandson. But what really made me angry was that she, kept my wife, who had just a few weeks ago given birth, standing outside in the sun without inviting her inside to even have a sit down. Pathetic. Nina said that she was not interested in having a relationship with people who did not welcome her. Imani told her that she was welcoming her by being the one to introduce the baby to her. Nina just narrowed her eyes and told my wife that she knew that it was just all an act so my father would not be angry with me anymore. She called my wife and me desperate and pathetic for playing these games with her, and closed the door in my wife's face. Guys, Imani was absolutely fuming by the time she ended the story. She told me that it was not Nina's previous marriage that was the problem. She claimed that Nina is a racist and is using her previous marriage as some sort of an excuse for her racism. Imani told me that she would never want to see Nina's face ever again. She had taken her rudeness in stride when it was only her, but it would be directed at our son. She won't take it anymore. She claimed that she doesn't care if she comes between me and Nina if it means keeping her son away from Nina's racism. I reassured her that I understood and that I would always take her side. I told her that it's okay if she doesn't want to meet Nina ever again after everything that's happened. Imani was crying by the end of this. I mean, she's been very emotional ever since she gave birth, and understandably so. I just feel horrible that I put her in this situation. I shouldn't have asked her to go and introduce our son to Nina. I should have gathered up my courage and done it myself. I feel horrible for this. I never wanted to see my wife cry because of me. And I kind of agree with her. All this goes well beyond a past experience. This has to be racism at this point, right? I guess only Nina's ex-husband can answer it. I wonder if she was a racist towards him as well. Well, that would be definite proof that it's not past her experience, just her hatred for black people. Update number 2. Hey guys, it's Travis here. Last week my wife tried to extend an olive branch to my stepmom, who has never liked Imani because she's black. Nina says that she had some bad experiences in her previous marriage to a black man. Imani thinks that Nina's racist, and I'm inclined to agree with her. You know, I've been thinking that only Nina's ex-husband could tell us if Nina had been racist before she married him or not, and I just cannot let this rest. I checked the public records to find out that man Nina had been previously married to Tyrone. Well, and he lived an hour away from my house, and I went without even telling my wife. Imani was kind of annoyed with me for what happened with Nina, and rightfully so. I just didn't want to stress her out any further. Well, a young black woman opened the door, and when I asked for Tyrone, she revealed that she was his daughter. So, thankfully, Tyrone was home and not out with his friends or something for the weekend. He looked like a happy man with crow's feet. But the moment I introduced myself as Nina's stepson, his demeanor completely changed and he became shut off. I told him that I just need to discuss what sort of person Nina was, maybe before and during her marriage to him. He was not keen on discussing Nina with me, but I told him that I was having some issues and that Nina did not really accept my wife because she was black. Tyrone just snorted at the end and invited me in to sit down. I didn't want to reveal what Nina had told me in confidence, so I asked him why his and Nina's marriage ended. Tyrone sighed and told me that if I had a black woman as a wife, I would already probably know. He claimed that Nina turns out to be quite racist after they got married. Nina never liked any of Tyrone's family members and often made racist comments about them. She would always say how Tyrone's sister never wanted to work hard and always expected white men to hand everything to her. She even pretended to be scared of Tyrone's uncle because he came from a bad neighborhood, and claimed that he was probably a criminal. She would always alienate his family members once she did not invite his family to his own promotion party, and only invited her white family, claiming that his family would only be jealous, and so she did not want any negativity around. Tyrone claimed that he had had enough when his cousin had gotten engaged to a white woman, and Nina had claimed that his cousin was pretty, for a black girl, so she understood how he pulled a white man. That was when Tyrone had gotten truly mad and told her to leave his house and that he would send her divorce papers because he could not take Nina's entitled racist behavior a second longer. He thought it was a long time coming. He was just hoping that she would change her behavior after spending more time with his amazing family. I was quite shocked to hear that because Nina claimed that she was weary of black people because of how her previous black family treated her. But this was the opposite of what she had claimed. I wasn't just shocked, I was mad. All this time she had been pretending to be the victim who had such trauma, when she was just being her racist self. I've never actually felt this sort of anger towards her, or anybody for that matter, and this has made me furious. I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but I'm sure going to teach Nina a lesson. Update number 3. Hey guys, it's Travis. It's been 2 months since my son was born and I decided to throw a small party for his arrival. I also thought that it was a great time to take my revenge on Nina for her racist behavior towards my wife and son. I invited all of our extended family, but I did not invite Nina or my father. I knew that Nina would be furious if I just ignored her like that. She liked being the one who ignored us. So how dare we do the same to her? Well guys, I was right. My plans came to fruition when I saw Nina entering our backyard with my father behind her, even though she was never inviting to visit us. She went up to my wife instead of me and accused her of not inviting her to the party in front of everyone. I calmly went to her and told her that it was actually me who had invited her. She was shocked to hear that, and I could see her fake tears already forming. She asked me if I was also not going to welcome her into our house. I just shrugged and told her that I just didn't want Imani's family to feel unwelcomed with her presence here. Isn't that what she made her previous husband's family feel? She had gone white at my claims and accusations, and she claimed that she didn't know what I was even talking about. I asked her if she remembered how she was scared of Tyrone's uncle and thought of him as a criminal because he came from a bad neighborhood. Or the way she did not invite Tyrone's family to his promotion party because she thought that they would be jealous of his success. Or the time, instead of congratulating Tyrone's cousin sister for her engagement, she just claimed that she was pretty for a black woman, so she understood how she pulled a white man. When Nina did not reply, I told her it was okay. I had someone else who could verify my claims, and Tyrone had been standing on the side with his current wife as I had invited him. He came forward, and Nina went even paler when she saw him. I turned to my father and told him that his wife was not haunted by her ex-husband family alienating her. She was haunted by her racist self. All these crocodile tears have been fake just to gain everyone's sympathy so she could get away with her discriminatory behavior towards my wife. I even accused my father of being complicit in this behavior because he always blamed me whenever I brought it up and asked me to leave. So, instead of asking Nina if what I said was to be true, he turned to Tyrone. Tyrone told him about some incidents where Nina had been horrible to his family. Nina tried to interject but was quietened by my father's angry expression. See, my father then told his wife to apologize to Imani right then and there in front of everyone. Nina claimed that she would do no such thing and left the party, claiming that Imani had poisoned her stepson against her. My dad apologized to everyone for creating all the drama and left soon after. My father tried to force Nina to apologize to Imani in the upcoming days, but Nina claimed that she would never apologize to the likes of her. Today, my father told her that if she can't even do the simple act of apologizing to the person she hurt, then he wants a divorce. Let's just see how it goes from here. I'll keep you guys updated on whatever happens. Final updates. Hey, it's Travis again. Well, it's been about a month or so since my last updates. A lot has happened since the party I threw on the occasion of my son's birthday. Well, a few more things have happened, so I thought I would update you guys once and for all. Well, my father, he had told Nina that he wants a divorce from her because she refused to apologize to my wife for being racist towards her and lying about it for years. Nina had been shocked that her husband would leave her because of someone like my wife. There had been some slurs thrown around about her and my 2-month-old son as well. And my dad knew that he made the right decision. My father had just left the house after that, giving Nina a day to pack up her things and go. Nina had gone, taking most of the family's valuables and money, and my father had of course gone to the police immediately. And now they're heading to have this very messy divorce in court. My dad also apologized to me for never taking my concerns serious. He claimed that he was trying to be a good husband and did not want to see his wife, whom he trusted, to be affected by her traumatic past. I told him that I understand. Well, he apologized to Imani as well for all of that. I feel bad and a little betrayed by Nina. I truly loved her like she was my own mother when I was young, and to find out all these nasty things about her has made me rethink about a lot. And I feel terrible that I did not take her behavior towards Imani seriously and investigate. Imani says that it's not my fault. I was trying to keep the peace, but I still feel a bit guilty, and so does my dad. Well, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for following me on this journey.